Hello everyone. How's everyone's week been?
It's been good. Well, as you don't know, I came back from holiday like a week ago. Literally, it was actually last week, Wednesday. Yeah, Tenerife solo trip, guys. I recommend it because
How long were you there for again?
It was short. It was only basically 3 days, but it was 2 nights.
Good amount of time though. Like, I feel like a week and a solo trip a bit too much.
Nah, I can't. Yeah, especially if you're just by yourself, you're gonna do the same things. Plus, I wanted it more like a chill, relaxed holiday. So it was just beach, spa, all inclusive vibes. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But yeah, what about you guys?
Would you go on a solo trip?
Yeah.
You would?
I enjoy my own company. I would
literally, you can literally do whatever you want.
It's just like,
you want.
I'm scared of like going airport and all of that by myself.
Nah,
airport?
It's not even bad.
That's like not
it's
at least. I've literally gone to Kenya by myself. I don't think
really.
Yeah.
Like I just haven't done that process for myself before. That's why.
Nah, it's fine. It's only the timing, like when you got away and your flight's delayed, actually pisses me off. Otherwise, it's fine.
I don't know. I'm that friend. I just send the money. Like I don't plan. And also, I'm the send the money.
Do you know what? I used to be that friend, but now I've decided I'm gonna take more control because I'm now pickier of where I stay.
Oh really? Okay. Yeah.
Now I'm like, actually, I don't know if I want to stay there. But then it's like when I get there, I'm like, can't really say anything because I was here just sending money.
That's the thing. Yeah.
But now I'm like,
I'm
actually, no.
Okay, guys. So what's the topic?
So the topic for today is Black representation in white media spaces, or in white media basically. But yes, so I think this topic came about because of controversy. I feel like there's always controversy around this topic, but recently there was like a lot of controversy that I've been seeing about this topic. Basically, I don't know what it's called, Tarte makeup?
Tarte makeup,
yeah.
Tarte
cosmetics.
Tarte.
There you go. But yeah, Victoria, if you want to go into a bit more.
No, I feel like, do people even know the background of this? But long story short, obviously Tarte, everyone knows Tarte as like the brand that does like the big trips for influencers to like go to different countries and just basically just attend big events, and obviously their job is to make content and just talk about the brand. And Tarte has obviously for a long time been accused of not being diverse or inclusive to people of colour, and they don't treat influencers of colour well when compared to like their white counterparts. And so obviously there was a controversy when an influencer who was invited on a trip to Tarte noticed that they were not being treated the same way as like their white influencers, so they came onto the internet and basically complained about their treatment. Anyways, after they complained, they were taken out of their PR list, and then 2 other black influencers were replaced with them, so Bria and Finita, and then that caused a lot of controversy with the audience of these 2 women. Basically, it just felt like they had chosen to stick up for a brand that's not been known to be inclusive to a lot of black people.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of solidarity with the black creators, and that's what led to just a lot of things unfolding.
Yeah.
But I think what was obviously like the discussion is like the difficulty I guess it is for like black creators when they have to think, obviously have to balance between doing something that's good for them as an individual versus their community.
That's the thing. I feel like
because Tarte has been known to be like not good when it comes to like diversity and inclusion. So like from the time when like Bria came and made the video, I was just like, why are we still on talking about Tarte?
Because we know this.
Like Jackie Aina and Alyssa told us about this from a long time ago. And not only that, what in Dubai remember when they went to Dubai, the Emirates trip, like Dubai Emirates, and then they took all of the influencers. There was a big trip they did where they flew a lot of influencers first class to Dubai. There was also a lot of complaints around that time of who was chosen to go to that trip. So it's like Tarte has always been in some type of controversy. So I'm just like, so I guess to an extent it's like, did we expect Tarte to do better in the situation given what they've shown us?
That's the thing.
What's your argument with people saying like, why? So as black people, why are we gonna force ourselves basically to be in like these white media companies or whatever when we know like there's actually no point, like they clearly don't cater for black people, so why do you have to be there, if that makes sense?
And I think it's like I think it's like specific to Tarte because they're doing the big lavish trips
Yeah.
Compared to other brands, Tarte
Yeah.
are known for these big lavish trips. They're flying you first class. They're giving you a +1. They're taking you to like this. So to an extent, the influencers are looking at the perks and they're like, I want some of that too.
That's the thing with that is really tricky because on one hand it's like, why can't I have those things?
Exactly.
You know, why can't I aspire to have those things? Why can't I, because I'm black, achieve a certain level of, I don't know, prestige or whatever?
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's easy. I feel like it may be easier to say, well, just don't go, or just
Yeah.
well, you don't have to be there, but it's like, but I want to.
Yeah.
It's like
you know, for yourself, you're thinking
it's sad.
you're thinking as a black creator, I'm paying as much effort as my white counterparts, but because
Yeah.
they never have to think twice about the brands that they're like supporting. They never have to think, is this brand going to be supporting like my audience? They never have to think about diversity. So they always are like saying yes to brands and it's never like question their integrity and stuff. Whereas as a black person, you also have to think, is it inclusive? Is there going to be a shade it's going to cater to my audience? Is it right for me to go
imagine it that you have to even stuff like this, like bro, you still have to think about racism basically every single day. Like, in every little aspect of your life. Bro, man said you got to think about, oh, is this brand or person like place got to be inclusive?
Yeah.
Whereas other people can just, it doesn't matter. They just I want to go here.
Because what if I just want to be a creator?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
I'm
mean?
not
It's
a
like
black
creator.
Yeah. It's like it's like as a
Yeah.
black person, you can't escape your blackness.
No,
You always have to think about it.
I
at
feel
all
like it's always
times.
first.
Like you can't just be
Like
like,
sometimes you just want to be a girl.
you can't just be like, I just love makeup. Like, you can't just be like, I love makeup and I want to make it. No, it's like,
You know, I'm a black girl, but sometimes I just want to be a girl.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's the same thing with this. And it's like, okay, they're doing. I'm mixed because I'm black. I've come to tell everyone about this, my experience, and you guys are telling me, well, just stay home.
yeah.
Essentially.
That's the thing though. And I think this is the thing as well that I feel like a lot of influencers need to understand. The general public don't care. Like in the grand scheme of things, people do not care that you are not affording a trip to Tarte. Like nobody actually, because even like this feels like a very much a first world problem. Like to an extent, it's sad how you were treated, but at the end of the day, you're talking to people who aspire to be influencers. Who are looking at your life and they're like, I would only dream to even get an invite to get there. So I think they're not as empathetic. And obviously in your space, you understand that you're not being treated equally to your peers, and in that sense, it's wrong. But if you're coming to the general public to complain, it's like the general public are like, we're trying to be in the same space as you. Like we would dream to be invited by Tarte to go somewhere. And I think because of that, it's like influencers, I don't know if they need to have like their own like meeting or whatever to discuss their own issues. Yeah. Because I feel like sometimes like it's not relatable to the general public because people are looking at you like you're complaining about problems that people here are not going to be.
I was just going to add to that because I was watching, well, I didn't really watch it, but I saw like a snippet of Madame Joyce's podcast with the girl from TikToks. I don't know their names, and they were basically talking about how black people get like brand deals and stuff, and basically black people in social media, touching on your point, like they basically can't really speak up basically because then the brands won't work with them anymore type of thing. And she was basically saying that she went to like one brand trip, whatever, say the white people are getting paid 10 times more than they're getting paid. So say for example you're going on holiday, they're paying the white person like 60k, you're getting paid 20k. And you won't know until you actually speak to that. Like,
that's the thing, that they might be getting 60k for one like trip, right? And then you're getting 20k for one trip. Obviously, it's not fair, but then at the same time, when you come to the public to complain about it, they're thinking you're making 20k in 1 month. I could only dream to make 20k. So it's a bit of like it's like people are just looking at you like this is rich people problems. Like realistically speaking, why are you coming? Like, do you know what I mean?
Not rich people problems.
It's like people are just looking at you like, well, this seems like a very much like a problem that's very unique to influencers, and it's like the public cannot relate to any extent to
even
that.
with what Deborah said, it's also like conversation of like, I don't know, like selling out.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to kind of, in a sense, sell out a bit.
If you want to advance, like you have to
appease, you know, the white media, just so you can advance, and then like for yourself, because being a whistleblower, I don't know.
It's going to damage your brand.
It's going to damage your brand, and also like just compromise you as a person. But I don't know if it's for the greater good.
No, that's true, because you know, like someone like, I think I remember Tony was talking about this, because you know how Tony is, she's quite outspoken. Like she does speak out on a lot of issues. She was saying how like a lot of the time when it's Black History Month, brands are reaching out to her out the door. When it's anything to do with like diversity, they're reaching out to her. Anything to do with like reaching out, they're reaching out to her. But when it's just like a casual brand trip, just sending her makeup, then her name doesn't pop up. Like her name only pops up when it's something to do with like diversity because of the type of content that she makes. Even someone like Candice, I think she was saying how like when Black History Month rolls around now, like the brands are knocking her door to basically help the brand look good, like they're diverse. But then throughout the year, there's nothing. Crickets. So it's like in a sense it's like to understand, you want to obviously cater to your audience because you know as a Black creator most of your audience are Black and these issues are very relevant to them. If you're supporting a brand that's not inclusive to them, that they can't go and get products from, it's like to an extent it's like your integrity. But then at the same time, when you do choose to speak up, you're then pushed to the side and then you're finding that your career is hurt from that.
That's the thing, because my initial response to like the videos on TikTok were like, well, like, what do you expect?
Yeah.
But you don't.
No, it's true because we've always known about Tarte for a very long time.
But then there's a bigger conversation, and like that's what we're having now. It's a big conversation.
It's like how do you advance as a content creator in in white media spaces without one, you always have to address race. And two, addressing race always gonna hurt you.
So it's like
especially everyone now wants to be like social media influencer. Like everyone's trying to do something social media because that's where the money's at now, innit? So for young people as well, like how and where, especially young Black people, how do you go about doing that? Because it's just long.
No, but it's like even us, and I think also I get what you're saying. Like I don't even understand. I don't even get how like as a young Black person you can navigate being in the influencer space to make money. Obviously, because we live in a society that demands you make money, but then at the same time being true to yourself. But then also it's like, what does that mean for the type of content that Black people are receiving?
What do you mean?
Okay, in terms of like authenticity.
Yeah, like in terms of like we're following all of these Black creators, but we're constantly having to understand the decisions that they have to make. It's like, okay, Tarte, we all know they're racist, and we understand why a lot of our favorite content creators and brands are going to support them, even though it doesn't align with a lot of people. Like Tarte doesn't have a wide shade range. Even though you enjoy watching this influencers content, you're gonna listen to them, but then it's like they're recommending a product that you know you wouldn't work for you. It's like the type of quality of the content that you're getting, they will cater to you because if they're catering to like a brand, then to an extent they're kind of neglecting you as an audience. But then it's like, what does that mean for Black viewers? And the type of media that they get to consume.
Like not Black people, but like companies that like represent Black people.
Exactly, and that's my point. Is like a lot of the brands that represent Black people are not big enough to have enough revenue, or even like how like there's certain brands that are known as being the Black brands, like the Black Opal, the Fair and Lovely, or was it like Black Up? Like these brands that are very specific Fashion Fair, I think. Like these brands are very specific to Black people. They're not big enough, generating enough revenue to be giving influencers these amount of opportunities that are like. Because I feel like it's kind of like shining a toy at people. I don't know, like you look at it. This is why Tarte is under fire most of the time, because they're the ones that do the lavish trip, and the influencers want that opportunity.
Of course.
But then like you're working with like Black Up, Fair and Lovely, or whatever brand that is like catered towards Black people. It's a smaller brand, and the most you're gonna get from them, I don't know, it's a care package, I don't know, a foundation. They might pay you, but it doesn't feel like you're getting the big opportunities.
It's interesting. This is a bigger conversation. They're deeper. If we're talking about like, I don't want to go to like Dr. Umar yet, but anyways.
What?
No.
How are we reaching Dr. Umar?
No, because this whole thing just got me thinking about like capitalism and like the Black pound, and then like his whole conversation of, well, I don't know if he says this, I can't remember, but Black people basically need to have like their own economy. Do you get? Because obviously everything is basically owned by white people. Cool. So like Starbucks, all these big makeup brands, whatever. So we're trying to fit into these people's spaces and make it Black, whereas we should just have our own whatever. But obviously now there's more like Black owned businesses and things like that. But like you said, it's obviously small, and then there's this issue with just because of the Black owned business, I should support you even though it might be trash. Do you get? So there's just like a lot of problems. How do Black people basically make the Black pound increase and like the economy, like Black, because Black people spend a lot of money.
Especially when it comes to beauty products, a lot of Black women are spending money on.
Exactly. Like packs and that, are they owned by Black? Jesus. These. Oh my days! I remember when I was looking. I don't know when this happened yet, but the like hair products that we buy, and then I remember there was like a scandal on like Instagram or whatever, of like who actually made these brands.
Yeah.
So like, you know, like Cantu, none of them are made by black people. Bro, none of them are made by black people.
But the thing is, there regardless.
Or they were initially,
and the thing is,
sold,
they're sold to like
Yes.
big conglomerates which are not owned by black people. It's like what Shea Moisture, which was made by a black family, and then they were sold later on.
And then they
same by
the
what's the name?
then,
Mayo Organics. They were also sold, and it's just like, I guess it's just literally society that sucks, and it's like literally. And I think also what I was gonna say as well was that as an influencer, when you do start to speak out about these issues, I feel like you're held to a higher account.
Yeah.
When it comes to the choices that you make in the future.
What do you mean?
There's a case study, I don't know if I want to name drop.
I was gonna say that.
Which case study?
I know the case.
I don't know this
It's
case.
about the Hawaii trip.
It's fine. It's fine.
The Hawaii trip. Oh my god! Oh my god!
There's a specific influencer. I don't know if I want to name drop, but there's
Just name. It's fine.
No.
She like her content started off like she branded herself on being quite. I would say like she was
like
educated.
she was
like, woke for lack of better term. She was
Yeah.
woke. Very much like, you know, capitalism. Like she would do like sort of like
Deep
video
dives and-
essays,
yeah.
deep dives, capitalism. You know, blackness, feminism, like all the isms.
Yeah.
She was really well versed, and that was different for us because she was giving us academia.
Yeah.
Whereas
I thought she was
other
giving
girls
us beauty and academia.
Yeah,
Like,
one other girl was just giving us beauty. So she was
Yeah.
giving us academia. So obviously, coming from that background, obviously over the years she's had to adjust and change because you know the academia wasn't selling in terms of like viewership and everything. Unfortunately, the girlies wanted the fashion and the House of CB. So she had to, obviously, you know, the content had to change along with that. But like then, do you want to take away the Hawaii?
Oh yeah, and then she was invited, I think, for like a brand trip to Hawaii, and I think around the time a lot of people in Hawaii have been asking tourists to not visit that area because of like the depleting the resources, and I think there's putting a lot of strain on like water and just a lot of things that the locals need because of the tourism and the overcrowding. It's just means that the resources are like they're basically damaging the environment in Hawaii. So they've been pushing for their tourism to stop basically. And around that time was when they flew to Hawaii with the brand trip, and she was obviously one of them. And I think because of her content and how she had created her brand as this person who's awoke to these issues, and she obviously is very aware of that, she was criticized a lot more severely compared to other like influencers who also went on the trip.
I feel like I remember this. Do I know this person?
Yeah, I think you should.
Yeah, you should. But the thing is, it's like either way, I feel like her name isn't even important. But the point is, it's like when you do speak out, it's like you're going to be held a lot more accountable because there's a lot of influencers. Let's be honest, who they understand that they're black. They're just gonna sit here and do their makeup and call it a day. They're not trying to get into politics. They're not trying to do nothing. And so if they make decisions that you might think is not politically correct or they shouldn't have maybe made that decision, you don't really care because you're like, did they even know?
They can plead the fifth and plead.
Exactly. They can be like, plead ignorance. They can be like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like with somebody who shows that they do know, they don't really have the opportunity to kind of make some mistakes. They're held to a higher standard.
Yeah, because you know better. You should do.
So I guess for some people, it's like, do they even want to make this type of content? They even want to speak up because if they do speak out and let's say down the line they end up making a certain decision, it's like it's going to come back to bite them.
Yeah.
And they're going to be punished severely for it.
Let's be frank, this is a money game.
Yeah. I feel like I've just
Let's be frank. Like, unfortunately,
it's just a sad situation for a lot of influencers.
It takes a specific kind of individual to be a martyr and then like take a financial hit in the name of blackness. It's not everyone that can do it. Most people aren't going to do it. Let's be frank. Most people aren't going to do it. So it's like it's easy for us that aren't in that position to be like, oh well, you should have done that. Bro, I need money. Like, I need money.
Yeah. Once they become a full-time content creator, that's literally their bread and butter. So they have to literally toe the line between brand, relationship, and their community. I think overall, that's just sad for that in terms of like, I guess it's sad that a lot of brands aren't already inclusive. So like, we're constantly putting out the influencers that we watch into these like tricky positions of having to pick and choose. And it's just sad also for like black viewership and the type of like content that they end up receiving.
Yeah.
Because you kind of always feel like an afterthought.
Yeah. Imagine. Especially when like you were like the first people to be that person, and then you see their change and they're, you know, trying to appease other
I just want to add something as well to that basically. So you know how like some black influencers, say they start a trend, right, but then now the white people do it and then it gets bigger or whatever, then they're basically getting paid more money to do what you basically already started type of thing. To add to that point, because then it's just like, Because I think that's happened in a couple instances.
Crazy,
I don't have
yeah.
like examples off my head, but I've seen a couple stories.
Yeah, the main example I can think of like TikTok dances.
Yeah.
TikTok dances, yeah, like little black
they
girls
don't
will
give, like,
start
credit
trending,
or
all of a
whatever.
sudden people are doing that, and then they're being on Ellen and all of that.
Bro, I still don't understand how. Is it Charlie? I don't know what their names are.
No, this should
White girl, bro. How and why and how did you get it? I never saw them on TikTok in my life.
Yes.
In my life.
And also, it's like, I don't know who these children are. It's crazy. That's how what it's just. That's the thing. So it's really
Yeah, but do you also feel like, I don't know. Do you feel like for also black creators, it's very hard for them to like attract a diverse audience? Like if they're already like a makeup influencer or a fashion influencer, it's like they're only going to be seeing a black audience, which is obviously very limited. Whereas with like white audiences, I feel like black people that can be into shit. Like you can watch a white creator and not really think twice about it. Obviously with makeup it's different because I need someone who's around the same shade reference as me and stuff. But when it comes to like a fashion haul, if I like the outfit, like look at Molly May. Molly May is appealing to like the mass audience. It's not just like
that's the thing.
it's not just white.
We be
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's not just white girls that are like looking at Molly May as like an influencer. Like black girls look at her. Like Asian, everyone is kind of universally seeing her as like the fashion icon.
But racism then, because why can't?
But then it's like a black person. It's very much like even if they're doing fashion, something that has nothing to do with like your shade or like skin tone, you're still very much like is there want to be predominantly like a black audience that are only viewing you?
That's the thing. I don't know. I think
so it's like there's just that.
By the time it will be, because I don't know.
So I don't know why it's like their appeal doesn't work the other way and why they can't. Yeah, but do you know what? Also, I will say I also find a big pet peeve of mine as well was I hate it when like content creators start like black content creators start like lashing out on like their black audience. The reason I'm not big is because black people don't support other black people. They don't follow, and I'm just like,
I hate that. I actually hate that. That's a really stupid thing.
Every single time somebody does that, I'm just like unfollow.
Yeah, you're full.
Like sorry, taking back my support. I feel like it's so ungrateful. Yeah. Because who are the people that are liking your posts? Yeah. Who are? It's like it's not enough. People are already following you. Like they're literally here watching you, and then you're still complaining.
That's the thing. It's like like black people that we don't support each other. We're our biggest enemies.
You don't support each other, and it's like the majority of your audience are black.
Yes.
They're literally black people. Showing up for you.
How do you think you're paying your
audience? If black people were not here, you would not have an audience. You would not have a space that would leg to stand on, and then you're here like blaming your audience for your lack of success.
Exactly. I don't know what to tell you. I hate when people say that. It's just a cop out. Like it's like France under the bus.
Literally.
When we're the only ones here.
No, literally, as in your audience are the only people that are supporting you are black, and then you're complaining because it's not enough.
Yeah, it's like you guys.
That's actually.
I agree halfway.
Okay, yeah. Why do you?
Why?
I don't know. Obviously, I get what you lot are saying, but like sometimes don't get to like don't hurt me. Black people don't support black people sometimes. But it just depends, innit? Like,
but my thing is
like as much as other ethnicities right for them. Obviously, you don't deserve it. It's not like it's not.
I'm saying just because you're black doesn't mean
it's
black
true,
people
though.
have to support you. But but to make a general statement that black people are not supporting you when you're a black content creator, the chances are if you're a black content creator, the majority of followers are black.
Yeah, do you know what
most of the time?
I feel like to a point of black people may not support as other groups or other races. Yeah. The thing is, it might be a thing. It's not that we don't support as much. It's that it may be that black creators require more. Yeah. So it's like we're having to
overcompensate for their lack of success. Because let's be honest, if they're saying that they have to work double hard just to get the same opportunities,
what do you
think we have to support. Let's support them twice as hard.
Yeah. And it's like
because they're like,
seem as we're not doing enough.
They're like, it's not enough to like. You have to comment as well. You have to do all of this, and it's just like.
It's like we have to do more to propel them, but it's like other races of people don't have to do.
They don't have to do that.
So it's like it's not like we're slackers. It's like the system's built against us.
Yeah.
So both you and me are both
having to work 10 times hard to help you and your grind.
We're in this together, but it's like we're fighting each other. But yeah, that's how it is.
But I just feel like, in my opinion, like instead of being so bitter about who's not supporting you, like focus on the people that are really supporting you.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because at the end of the day, somebody's not supporting you. They don't owe you anything. Like let's be honest, nobody owes you a viewership of your audio, of your content. You can put it out there, but if nobody wants to watch it, nobody wants to watch it.
That's the thing.
But if somebody is watching it, like you got, I don't know, 1,000 followers, 1,000 views, like be grateful of the 1,000 people that want to sit down and literally listen to you.
Literally.
So I have a question then as well after what you said. So in terms of like black people and how they represent themselves in the media, then do you think they should like be not outwardly black, but like be the black influencer basically? to like get black people support, or basically
I just-
do what, like follow the trends and all of that,
I think
and
it's
not
like-
really thinking about.
I feel like
what's
regardless
happening.
of whether or not you want
Like
to,
their
I don't
audience.
feel like black influencers have a choice. You're always
That's
gonna
the
be
thing, you're
black.
always gonna be a black influencer.
You're always gonna get black
Yeah.
influence, and you're always gonna have to address race
Yeah.
at some point, and you're gonna have to confront the fact that
That's yeah.
you're not.
It's
Do you know what I mean? Like you're always gonna have to
Yeah.
deal with it, regardless of whether or not you want to or not.
It's what you wanna. Yeah.
It's
what
how
you
much
wanna-
it's how much you want to engage with the political
Yeah.
side of things.
Yeah,
but
literally.
either way, you're gonna have to
But
address it at
unfortunately, you
some
don't have that
point.
choice.
But yeah, guys, this was a great, lovely conversation. I'm so sorry, I'm so aware of time, but
Yes, we are aware of
Yeah.
time today. So
Yeah,
this is a nice, short, snappy,
Little snippet, yeah.
you know, conversation. I think definitely in future we'll probably touch on this a bit more, like different topics as well, because
Yeah,
it'll always come
yeah.
up. I feel like, you know, black representation in media, but
Yeah.
yes,
Just a
so
little tart case study for you guys.
yeah, a little case study conversation.
Yeah.
but yeah.